Hello, my name is Dr. Danielle Rosaria, and I am here with you today for phase 1 of the Violin for Self-Enrichment series. I've noticed that we often, as human beings, we like to learn and discover things on a regular basis. And one of those things that's out there is music. Music is often thought of as being something for professionals or something for virtuosos, for people who have done it since they were very, very young. But actually, music can be a very enriching activity for anybody who has the desire to be able to express themselves, to be able to be creative. So the violin is a beautiful instrument. It's been around since the 1500s. And if you notice on this, you often see this beautiful grain on the back. This is maple, and then on the front of the violin is usually pine. And each part of the violin is very specifically made to create that beautiful sort of sound, often resembling the human voice. That's what it was created to do, and what it's known for is to resemble the human voice. So, let me explain some of the basics about the instrument. You have here 4 strings, and each of them makes a different sound. And you notice that as you start here on the violin's right-hand side, you have the highest sounding string. That one is called E string. And then you have 5 notes lower, 5 whole tones, five letter names, we'll say. 5 letter names lower. And that's A. And then 5 more notes down, that's D, and then G. So, all 4 strings are E, A, D, and G. And you might notice if you have a new violin or you haven't played it in a while, or the weather's been crazy like it is here, it's really hot right here, that your violin is out of tune. It might not make that pretty sound, it might make another sound. And in that case you'll need to have your violin tuned, and that's an advanced sort of activity that you may need to have someone tune it for you, but don't get discouraged, because that's really normal. So it should sound like this: E, A, D, G. And there are apps available that can help you tune the violin. But we'll talk about the mechanisms for tuning later on. Okay. So, in order to hold up the violin, you'll probably need what is called a shoulder rest. Mine looks like this, but there are many different ones available, and it depends on the shape of your shoulder. And you want to put it on like so. I like to put mine on like this, right here, and it just slides up, just like that. Okay. Now, the other thing that you'll have is the bow. And the bow right here, this is made out of horse hairs, and it rubs along the strings, creating a vibration. And in order to create that vibration, though, you need to make sure that it's tight. So you want to take the screw right here and turn it clockwise until the hairs are about your pinky width apart in the middle of the bow. Now you don't want to touch the hairs too much because that gets them dirty. But okay, so that looks about right. And then the other thing is, to create those vibrations with the string, you need to make the hairs sort of sticky. Otherwise it'll just be smooth and it'll just rub up and down the strings and make no sound. So we need what is called rosin. This is what mine looks like, little circle, but they come in different shapes, different colors. But It's made from pine sap, so as you can imagine, it's very sticky. And if you have a new bow, you want to make sure that you rub it quite a lot. Make sure that it's covered. If it's a normal day, you can go up, down, up, and that should be enough. Okay. Alright. So your biggest project at first is going to be how to hold the bow. So actually, let me put this down and we'll talk about how to hold the bow. Now keep in mind, this video is meant to help you to discover something new, but if you're serious about the violin, you'll probably want to have a private instructor, somebody who can give you feedback and see the specific things you're doing, also show you, the kind of styles you want to play, and you can have an ongoing relationship, good friendship with your teacher, but this video is to help get you started. Okay, so here's the frog. You want to make a circle with your right hand here, and if you can see, it's with the thumb and the middle finger and right here on this line right here. So keep your hand relaxed, as natural as possible, and you take your thumb, put it right above the frog. This is called the frog. I don't know why, but that's what it's called. So the thumb right above the frog, and then your middle finger right opposite the thumb. Okay? Then your ring finger, same line right here, goes right on the wood, and then your pinky, this is often the challenge for students at first. You want to put your pinky right on the top of the stick and have a nice curve. So if you channel the weight of your arm properly, you'll have a natural curve, but if not, then you'll end up with this very stiff, uncomfortable grip that's very unhealthy. So you want to make sure at all times that you have your fingers curved here as you're starting out. And then you have your index finger. Index finger just goes right here, and this is the one that controls a lot of the sound, the weight of the bow, and we'd like to say weight rather than pressure, because weight is relaxed, and the pinky counterbalances the tip, so you have a balance here. That's what we want to create. That's going to be a big project, so go nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 right here. So you're going to find that holding the violin is a lot easier than holding the bow at first. So the violin rests on your left shoulder here, and for now you can go ahead and hold the body of the instrument with your left hand. And so you still have your good bow grip here. We're going to make a few sounds. So let's play E string. You want to keep your bow at a 90-degree angle. You don't want to do this because it creates like movement this way, and that makes a squeaky sound. So you want to keep your bow nice and straight here. Okay, so let's do 4 E string notes. Alright, let's do A 4 times. So A string. And D string. And here's G string. Notice that I'm keeping my bow in the same place here on the string. I'm not letting it slide up and down because that makes that sound, that squeak. But if I keep the bow right here, it's called the contact point. If I keep the same contact point, then I get a clear sound. Now you might notice right now when you started to, make some music, you may have noticed a squeak. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But if you hear something like that, that's because you're using too much weight on the string for the speed that you're going with the bow. So if I move the bow slow, but I make my arm nice and light, I can still get a clearer sound. But if I go slow and press down, you see it squashes the sound. So I want to move my bow, really move my bow, and keep the balance between the speed of the bow and the weight of the index finger. So let's play all 4 strings. We'll play 4 times on each one. Here we go. So here's E, A, D, and G. So I hope you enjoyed this short introduction to violin playing. What we did today is just hold the violin, just have an idea of how natural we want it to sound, and some of the names of the strings. So if you can learn how to hold the bow, how to hold the violin, and then remember E, A, D, G. That's a lot for today. Thank you very much. I am Dr. Danielle Rosaria, and I hope you join me next time for Violin for Self-Enrichment.